It, hi, everyone. Oh,
Oh,
recording.
sorry.
No, you're good.
I'll record.
Okay.
We'll record this session.
Fantastic. That sounds good. Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Julianne Walker, and I'm with the Wichita State University Engagement Institute. And we are kind of here today to help support some brainstorming for you all for the important work that you're doing in your area. We're gonna end around 11:40, so we'll be in this room until about 10:50, and then we'll take a break, and then we will come back to this same room, and then we'll kind of pick up where we left off. So if that works for you all, we'll just kind of dive in. We are going to be using an online tool called Jamboard this morning to capture some of our ideas and some of the pieces that you all really want to capture, and I will help facilitate that process. So we'll walk through that here in just a moment. But I do encourage you also to unmute if you'd like, and especially since we've got such a small group, I think there's opportunity for that as well. But and then also, if you are struggling with the Jamboard piece of that, you're also welcome to use the chat feature. But if we can capture most everything on Jamboard, that would be great, just so that we have the opportunity to help facilitate the process of getting all of the notes back to Robin and the team there. But we're inviting you this morning to think about the ideas and kind of the process that we're going to run through from two lenses. So we want you to bring your organizational lens and also your sector lens. So if you can kind of wear both hats as we're walking through this morning, that would be great. And I think it will help increase the opportunity for brainstorming as we move throughout this morning. And so at the end of the breakouts here today at 11:40, we will pop back into the main room. If we can get a volunteer from one of the four of you that are going to help support this process today, we do need a volunteer to share out some of the just brief key takeaways after we end. So if the four of you want to kind of think, Patrick, Donald, Aaron, and Ed, if you want to kind of decide if you're willing to be the reporter back to the main group, that would be fantastic. So we'll give you a time to just think about that here real quick. I am going to pop the Jamboard link in the chat for you all. Let's see. Okay, so I have popped the Jamboard link in the chat. So take a quick second here to grab that link and let me know if you can open that, and then I will share my screen and we will kind of get going. Thumbs up from Robin. Thumbs up from Ed. Aaron. Patrick, Donald. Okay, excellent. Very good. All right, well, I will go ahead and share my screen so that we can all be on the same page. Are you all seeing my screen?
Yep.
Okay, very good. Well, I'm excited about this process. This work sounds really amazing, and we're just glad to be able to support kind of moving forward today. So let's see, I'm going to move us to the second slide. All right, so let's practice. What we're going to do today is over on the left-hand side of your screen, there is this little icon that says sticky note. If you hover over it, if you want to click on that and add a green sticky note to the board. And you can, if you can type in your name, organization, and the sector that you're representing today. So if I pop mine in, and if you just hit save on there, it should capture it. I'm not seeing others show up here. Oh, they're going on that one. That's why. Okay. Let's see. I am not sure how. Okay, I'm gonna look for some tech assistance. I'm not gonna be shy. So these are showing up on this first screen here. Okay, we've got everybody's here. So not sure how to get them on the second screen. Let's see. Okay. All right, well, we are going to improvise here. Let's see. I apologize. Does anybody have Jamboard experience on here? No.
Minor. So are you trying to get us all on the second one, or?
Yeah, they showed up on the first one. They're not showing up on the second practice board. There we go. There's one.
Yeah, I think we just need to maybe repost on that second one. Yeah, you can see what she's doing as she's sharing her screen. You know, you can move
Yeah.
through the different boards.
Yeah, just go to the second
Yeah,
one and then post
okay,
from there.
there we go. Thank you. Yes, if you all can go to your second board to the Let's Practice.
Yeah, this is good practice, moving between boards, right?
It is, yeah. And we actually practiced this, but it didn't translate here. I think because everybody I was practicing with has used Jamboard before. So there we go. Excellent. Patrick and Robin and Donald. Do you go by DC or Donald?
Either one is fine, but sometimes I forget, so I just go by whatever
Okay.
happens.
Okay, excellent. So let's see. So if Aaron, there's yours. Wonderful. All right. So I think
And we added Allison. So can you,
Hi,
hey, Allison, welcome. Can you maybe repaste that Jamboard link?
yes.
And sorry, she probably
And
didn't.
I think I got lost on the second board conversation. Ed here.
Yes, if up at the very top up here, if you want to hit the arrow to the second board. So
Oh, okay.
yes, we're all learning this together.
I'll add something. Yeah, this is cool.
Yes. Okay, let's see. Allison, I am. Let me get back to the chat feature. And it is. Let me stop share real quick. Allison, can you see the link?
Yes, I do. Thank you. I tried to type it in from what I saw on the screen, but I failed and that didn't work. So
Yeah, you have to use the link in order to become an editor. So
got
there
it.
we go. Okay, so thank you, Ed. So if on this board, when you first open that up, you'll see the welcome screen. If you go up to the top here and scroll over to second frame. And then over on the side, there's this little feature for the sticky note. And if you can pop a sticky note in, that's what will pull up. You can type your message and hit save, and then it will post. Excellent. So let's take a quick look at who all we have represented here today, and where you're from and the different sectors. So it looks like we've got childcare, EPI, and infrastructure. So a couple of different organizations and a couple of different sectors that are represented here today. So Parks and Rec sector, thank you. So as we move out, as we move through this today, if you can again wear both of those hats as your lens for this process. So wearing your organizational hat and also your sector hat as we move through and answer these questions. Hi, Toriano. We have a link to Jamboard in the chat. Can you hear us? Okay, if you want to grab that link in the chat for Jamboard and open up that link and scroll from the top here to the second board. Did that work for you? Okay, excellent. All right, so if everybody can now go up to the top again where you see the arrows here, scroll to the next page. So it should say 3 of 7 at the top where you see strengths. Does everybody have that? Okay, excellent. So again, using the sticky note feature over here on the left-hand side, if you can open that up, you can use any color that you want, but we're going to ask a specific question around physical activity policy. So when you think about physical activity policy, what strengths can you leverage to move this work forward? So think about the strengths in order to move this work forward that can be leveraged. And again, coming from your organizational hat and also the lens that you bring from your sector. So using that sticky note feature on this page for strengths, if you can start popping those in and do one idea per sticky note, and I will worry about moving them around. So just let them pop up where they may. Excellent. Great. Give you just another minute or so to kind of think through. Add as many as you like. If you've got 5 that you're thinking of, pop them all on the board. Everybody can see. Okay, any other strengths that you feel like could be posted here? Excellent. Partnerships, wonderful. Got a couple here that are kind of resonating with one another. Very good. So take a minute to look at some of the things that are shared by your peers. What are some things from what's posted here in terms of strengths around physical activity policy work? What is surprising to you? Is there anything that's surprising, or what's exciting you about what's listed here as far as strengths that are already in place?
I like the one about Children's Mercy is one of the largest orgs in the region, and they have a level of clout. That's pretty exciting.
Okay, great. Very good. Yes, and that's very, very important to have that clout and credibility. What else?
I'm excited to see social media best practices because I have no knowledge or experience in that.
Okay, excellent. So there are folks on this in the sector teams that have that experience and can lend that support. Good. What else?
I'm looking forward to the partnership.
Okay. What about those partnerships is most exciting to you?
Just, I think the influence that we can have working together.
Okay. Excellent.
Yeah, and I was going to say the same thing. I mean, it's great to have, healthcare institutions, community development organizations, Parks and Rec, media, all kind of thinking the same way. That's very exciting to me.
Yeah. Excellent. Kind of being on that same page and being able to think about this work from either from different sectors, but having a similar perspective as to what you'd like to see happen. Good. Anything else that stands out?
I like the data in supporting the policy work. And I think that ties in with partnerships. It's very exciting to see because without each other, then we can't help justify some of that funding and or reasoning to host some of those programs.
Excellent. And that's very true. Is a lot of funding wants to see and hear that partnership and collaboration piece. Very good. Anything else? I am taking some notes so we can kind of reflect back on this for everyone. And I did mention before, now that we have several others that have joined us, if all of you can be thinking about who would like to volunteer to share out with the large group when we go back at 11:40. So please keep that in mind because I will ask you here prior to that time who would like to report out. And it's just kind of gauging a few takeaways from the process that we're doing this morning. So strengths. One of the reasons we want to start with strengths is that this just kind of, it builds that excitement and it helps you kind of latch on to where are we coming from and what do we have to help support this work. And I think these are all really great things to help us move forward. So I do like this one here is that enthusiasm for the topic. I think if we have passion and enthusiasm for what we're doing, it really does help move that work forward. And it helps us stay for the long haul. Because sometimes work in these areas takes time and we have to be patient. So very good. All right, well, let's move on. Let's move to opportunities. So if at the top of the page here, if you can click to move to page 4 where we see opportunities, we can go ahead and start here. So again, grab a sticky note. And thinking about physical activity policy, when you think of physical activity policy, what cross-sector opportunities for collaboration are there? So what cross-sector opportunities for collaboration do you think are here? These are coming quick. Fantastic.
I'm feeling called out here.
No worries. Yep, they've got you on a sticky. That's a good thing.
I can talk on it. And just
Yeah,
let me know.
okay, yeah.
I'll apologize for that, Patrick. No pressure.
So Robin, are there 8 sectors or 10 sectors?
There are 8 active right now with
Okay.
2 more coming
Great.
later in the fall 2023.
Okay, wonderful. That's where I got the 10. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So thinking about all of those different sectors that are currently doing this work, these are great to think about what opportunities there are for some collaboration across those sectors. Very good. Mhm. So another way to think about this too is thinking about how other sectors can help, how one sector might be able to help another sector accomplish goals, or what could be what are some opportunities for that. So these are great. Fantastic. Thank you. Someone's using the pen feature. I love it.
It's not very legible, but yes, Healthy KC is active and rolling. So if you guys do want to contact that, let me know and I can help you guys get signed up for that.
Okay, excellent. Allison is your go-to person for that. Very good. Thank you. Anything else you all can think of? Very good. Well, let's take another minute to debrief. We've got about 9 minutes left before our breakout room here goes into a break. So again, same question. Is there something surprising to you about anything that's posted here? Any of the opportunities that others have shared? It looks like an arrow to the acknowledgement of discriminatory practices. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that I don't think it's possible to devote enough time to it, really. I mean, we don't do enough right now to address this issue that's both historical and current. And we just always need to be striving to do more, in my opinion, in this
Okay.
regard.
Thank you. That was Robin, correct?
Yes, that
Okay.
was Robin. Yeah.
Excellent. Anybody else, other thoughts on that as well to share?
I just added something to take a little pressure off of Patrick and Mark here. Add
Okay.
Bike Walk KC to regional coordinators, question
Okay.
mark. And I don't know that we have anybody from Bike Walk KC in the room.
What do you mean by regional coordinators? They are very active in
Yeah.
everything.
Well,
So
as I look at healthcare, as I look at this kind of programming, I just think, what's the best way to get this out, beyond Kansas City, Missouri, Kansas City, Kansas, the whole region. First thing I think of is Mid-America Regional Council, because you guys do such a great job on this, multi-county area. And then in this particular area of increasing physical activity, I think of Bike Walk KC, and I know they span, the state line, and they go outside of Kansas City, Missouri, et cetera, et cetera. So that's my thinking on that.
Thank you, Ed.
So this is DC. Just going off of the acknowledgement of discriminatory practices in our region that limit physical activity for groups of people. I agree that there's so much time and effort that needs to go into that. But I also think that if we do put a lot more of our effort into doing that, we could completely transform how we kind of approach our physical activity plan and how people have access to that. I think the access to it is what's really being affected here. And those discriminatory practices really put a dampening on the access for everyone to have access to physical activity, whether that's at parks or bike lanes or gyms or whatever you want to call it. But if we put substantially more effort into that, I think we could have a transformative plan here in the region.
Great thoughts. Yes.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Other additional thoughts on that?
I know that for our races, we're actually in the process of meeting with some other diversity and inclusion agents from some of the larger KC companies. So that way those races can be more open for all. And so we'll have some different groups that folks can sign up for. So we're very excited about expanding that. We're also working on trying to be more knowledgeable about that to offer more for our corporate challenge games as well. So that is happening over at Parks and Recs, and it's in the works. So we're excited.
Great.
I know that UMKC has a strong research emphasis on addressing health inequities. I'm also aware that the Jackson County Health Department is opening a new department or section about addressing health inequities, so that we can maybe capitalize on those resources. I also, everybody knows that organizations, businesses, companies, so many of them now have high-level diversity, equity, and inclusion departments or offices. So somehow coordinating those, maybe with businesses, maybe that's where something like KC Chamber could come in, and kind of reaching out to businesses and organizations that are members and who have DEI programs. And if I might just make a suggestion, Julianne, 3 of the boxes that now I think go together are the coordinating regional work and policies, Mark, and then the one about KC Chamber and the one about Bike Walk KC.
Yep.
And then of course the yes.
Yes. I don't think I can move the yes, but I will, there we go. I'll move it closer. Yes, yeah, no, I think these are great to kind of highlight as opportunities moving forward. What folks had questions about those and maybe doing a deeper dive into those. Yeah, great.
And one thing I'll just say, and I don't know if it fits here or not, but because this is the policy section, I think one of the biggest successes that has been made on the city level has been implementation of the Vision Zero policies, which are going to improve the intersections and roads and sidewalks in high fatality areas, and the decriminalization of jaywalking in the region as well. Those to me are important city level, KCMO city level policies that have been adopted recently that I think are going to have big impacts. And I guess the opportunity there is that I don't believe there's anyone from KCMO city, whether it's Public Works or elsewhere, attending this summit. And it's been, a constant challenge from our perspective to get that type of involvement. So that's the opportunity, is that is an untapped connection that currently does not exist.
Very good. Okay. Yeah, and I think those are definitely opportunities to look at, is, who's not here, who's not at the table. And so really being able to, again, to tap into those additional resources for additional support and work. Very good. Other thoughts around themes or anything you feel like is missing?
I think in terms of cities and policies, especially since we're in the policy breakout room, a discussion of zoning and land use is going to be pretty important. And how land is structured and which affects how transportation is structured is really going to either help you be more physically active if you want to be, or it's going to set up barriers to those things. You're going to have to drive to your gym, ironically. So yeah, I think that could be explored at length.
Very good. Thank you. Well, it looks like we're going back to the main breakout room, or the main room. So in 10 minutes, everybody will resume back here in policy. And I look forward to focusing on challenges and priorities next. So we'll see you soon.
Okay. Thanks, everybody.